Right then, here we go. Hi guys, it's Luton here. Now we are on the last base, the last stand of this bloody nightmare of a game that I was playing the other day. This was hell on earth. My team... Team is a very friendly word to use. I'm doing my best to keep things locked down here, but as you can see, it is a mass slaughter. Anybody who's in this game with me would agree that things did not go well. Things were all over the place. Look at this. I've taken out like 3 guys. I've disarmed A. Getting back over here. Bloody B's armed already. Trying to clear this crap out. It was a hell of a game, this one. We got overrun from the very beginning. Within minutes of the first base happening, what had happened was a guy had flown a jet up, I think. He jumped straight out the jet, parachuted in onto the base, spawned 4 guys. Before we knew it, the first base was overrun. It really was bad. By this stage in the game, at the end of the game here, I'm literally doing the best that I can to cover everything, because the previous 2 bases, the third base on this Firestorm, is it third base? Second base? There's only 3 bases in Firestorm. The second base on Firestorm that we were playing here, it really did become... I thought we had half a chance, but it was down to, quite honestly, it was poor teamwork. There were moments where there was nothing going on at 1MCOM and I'd be calling out saying, guys, there's people coming, there's people coming. Just no one would come to assist, and then that would go down, the other one would get armed, whatever. It just went on and on and on, and just a quick look at the scoreboard tells 1,000 stories, really, especially for some of the players. But yes, things overall were not going well. So what can you really do in games like this? There's not much you can do. You can just literally just try and play the best that you can, spot targets, try and preempt, try and move to positions where appropriate. At this stage in the game, you know, they hadn't really had a lot in our base, so I felt it was fine to move forward to this point. I always say that the best thing that you can do is stay within a good range of your MCOM so that you can get back onto it in time. I also, you know, a lot of people recently, I'm just going to bring this in here, a lot of people have been mentioning in videos, some of my long-time subscribers as well, have pulled me up and said, Luton, you know, you're constantly criticising your team, you're too harsh on people, or you're coming across as being very arrogant or all-knowing or blah blah blah, and you're talking too big all the time. Guys, don't misunderstand me, alright? I make as many mistakes as the next person. There are moments where I just can't even... I look back at it and I think, why the hell did I do that in game? But honestly, that doesn't mean that I should just forgive myself and go, oh, these things happen. No, if I've made a mistake in a game, you know, beat yourself up over it. Seriously, it's you need to think about these things in game and learn. And if I screw up in game, I know that I did, and I know that I need to sort of take that on board and think about it. Also, I am the first person to criticize myself, because criticizing and learning from yourself is how you improve. If you have made an error, the only way that you can fix that and not make that error again is if you make sure that you know you've made that error in the first place. So if team members are screwing up, look at this guy, classic suicide, that's the kind of thing that I'm always doing. If you have screwed up, if you have failed, if you have not supported your team, then it's important that you know that, and not just that, but that you understand what mistake that you have made. My biggest problem with Battlefield recently is you know, also you might be asking, why am I not going for the MCOM? I was checking this area above here. The reason I was checking that area above is because on the previous base we had real issues with people getting up into those top building sections and covering the MCOM. I was concerned that there could be someone up there, so I wanted to make sure. Now you can see I'm almost doing circles in this base right here, but again, try when we're watching this to look at where my team are in relation to me as well. Are there too many people in one area? There's some big issues that I have recently with Battlefield, well, Battlefield teams when I'm playing. That is, too many people in one place at the same time. The other is reaction time. People are not good at reaction time. They take too long to think about what needs to happen. Something that I've been saying regularly is just make a decision and do it. Okay, just make a decision, right or wrong, because the time that people spend trying to work out what they should be doing is such massive time wasted. It's catastrophically annoying. And again, you know, I was already looking at the minimap. Look at how many people are around me right here. There's only one guy, and yet this is the armed MCOM. The other one's not even armed. You know, there should be like 3, 4, 5 people over here right now, and they're not. They're all in the BMCOM where nothing is even happening. Why? As soon as that AMCOM was armed, as soon as not even that, as soon as we cleared out B, 2 to 3 people should have been moving back over there. I went forward, cleared out the, well, I was sort of looking around the first area, and then I was like, okay, it's a bit quiet, hey, I better move over there. It got armed on the way, and we managed to clear it out, defend it as we went along. But now look what's happening. We're having huge amounts of fire, huge amount of threat put onto the AMCOM here. Look at it, it's bloody anarchy in the UK. How are we possibly going to keep this locked down? We can't. It's just getting armed. There's no way. They have thrown their whole team onto A, and this is just the whole way it went along. We did not have enough team members around in each base area. There are not enough guys over here. They've got the tank. Look at the tank. The tank's just parked in the middle of the base. It's not taking any fire. It's just sitting right there. We have no hope whatsoever of being able to keep this safe, and it's just at this point a downward spiral. We have got no hope whatsoever if this is the way things are going to play out. Now, it's a really difficult one to toss up in terms of what kit to be using in a situation like this. I mean, in an ideal world, you would be able to tailor your role and think, okay, the tank's being a threat, so if I go engineer, which as a player you guys know I would probably do quite often, I go engineer, try and take that tank down, and then it means that I can support my team by, you know, going about doing different things. Unfortunately, in a game like this, I often find that you really can't take a role, because as soon as you take one role, then your team leave a hole in another position. So for example, if I'm going assault right now, okay, I'm helping to keep the infantry down, I'm clearing out bases, I'm disarming MCOMs and so on, but the tank is just driving around and not getting destroyed. So if I go engineer, okay, I'll start going engineer, clearing those out, but then the infantry are all over us, so you can't win. And I played other rounds that were similar, where we were on, for example, Sharkey Peninsula with the helicopter there, and it's like, okay, I can go helicopter, as I showed you guys on a video the other day, where I spent the whole round focus firing the helicopter down, and it helped out my team because it allowed my team to focus on all the other things that were going on in the game. So I was watching infantry around the bases, but I was mainly, like, my 90% priority was keeping the helicopter down, and that really benefited my team. Now in a round like this, what would be really beneficial if they had just 2 guys in my team here were focused on keeping that tank down. As soon as the tank appears, if there were 2 of my guys firing way too much high on the G3 there, should have pulled that down a little bit, but if we had 2 guys and they were focused on the tank, that would mean that then other players like myself could focus on the infantry, or vice versa. Alright, I'm happy to be the engineer and take that tank down, but I need other people to fill in what I'm doing here, which is moving around, clearing, making sure people are not coming around, and when they are, communicating it to my team. Look at the map here, really key. Where's the team members? Look, 1 to 2 people over here at the back of the map, maybe only 3 in the base. Alright, it's just, you know, a poor show of kind of general teamwork in this round here. Look what this guy, don't just sit in a corner, guys. If somebody clips you, keep moving, don't do that. Don't just turn a corner and wait because you're going to get taken out. I could start firing as I rounded that corner because I knew he was going to be there. At this point, look, there is no hope. They've parked the bloody tank on the MCOM, and this is exactly what I was saying just only a moment ago. Alright, I was trying to work on keeping the left hand side of this base clear to stop them getting in here. The right hand side of my base has been wide open, and literally no chance, because once that tank got up here, that's it, it's game over. So this was a really bad loss, but it's really important to look at losses and understand why you lost there. The reason we lost there is because we didn't have enough team members prioritising. They were not prioritising that tank, they were not spreading out, they were not moving forward, they were too tight on our base, we weren't working as a good defensive net, we weren't protecting our base properly. It was just a massive, well, a few words for it, but a few words that I won't talk about here, but one way or another it went down badly, it really did. And this is what happens when you have a lack of teamwork and a lack of understanding about what you should be doing as your role in the game. Much more of this kind of style of breakdowns coming up, guys, some positive, some negative, but I think it's important to take the rough with the smooth, because if you don't learn, and that is the key thing when you're looking at games like this. Thanks for watching, see you next time.